What's going on, Sagittarius? And welcome to my channel, Alchemist. Justin here, and I hope you're having an amazing week so far. So, for those of you who are returning, welcome back, Soul Tribe. I appreciate your subscriptions, your likes, your shares. Your support really does mean a lot to me, and it keeps us growing. And for those of you who are new, welcome. I'm happy your higher self has brought you here. You're in for an amazing journey. Now, the theme of this week for this month's spread is going to be business and all the ways we can just elevate your empire there, Sagittarius. And just so you're all aware, this is a general reading, not a one-to-one. So take what resonates with you, leave the rest with me. Never force a reading on a situation, okay? So with all that being said, let's jump into it. Your space has been cleansed. Gems are feeling good, just good vibrations all around here. Now, with this business spread, I'm going to be pulling 10 cards, and I'll be doing clarification as need be, and of course a good old surprise card at the end, so don't you panic. And in case y'all were curious, bringing back an OG deck here, the deck that started it all off, the Aleister Crowley's Thoth deck. And I've included a link for this deck and other decks I like using in the description box below, so definitely check that out if you're interested, Sag. But let's go ahead and get into your first card here, which is going to represent the current situation. So, higher self, what is the current situation for Sagittarius in business right now? Let's see what the business savvy Sag has been up to over this time. Let's see what's going on here. What you bringing, Sagittarius? Oh, and that's fine. No judgment here. You got the Eight of Cups here. And with the Eight of Cups, this is a card of indolence, a card of kind of like, just kind of dragging your feet. Maybe there's just been some things that you've let kind of fallen by the wayside. Maybe we're not interested in our work and we're not putting in like our 100%. Maybe we're thinking about starting up. Maybe we might even could be considering starting up maybe like our own business, but we can't seem to get any kind of momentum, or maybe just something's not quite feeling right here, and it's got us where we're not moving. We might be we're just kind of half-assing it, because you see you got like some of this water's kind of pouring in these cups here, but for the most part this is just a dry ocean. And with this energy, it's like if that's what you're feeling, then it's just, I feel like it's a matter of kind of figuring out what is it that's not fulfilling you here. Is it the fact that, because maybe it may not even be the fact that like your line of work is wrong. Maybe just the way you're doing the work is not quite resonating with you. Maybe we need to kind of find like an outside of the box way of going about this thing. And maybe for some others too, it could be maybe the line of work is not matching up, and that's why you keep seeing this resistance. Maybe that's why people are like, might be looking at you like, well, Sagittarius, what are you doing? Like you're putting in like the bare minimum here. Like what's going on? It's just like, I don't like it. And that's fair, Sagittarius. If that's what you're feeling, accept that, and then let's go about trying to fix this thing. We don't want to stay in this place of where we're not moving here, because look at how you're feeling. It gets after a while. It might be okay to coast for a second. Because this thing might be able to at least pay your bills. Keep a roof over your head, all that good stuff. It's since you're putting in the bare minimum, that's what it's fulfilling, the bare minimum. But if you want more from life, we got to give a little bit more, and we got to find what we want to give more to. So definitely kind of sit with that thing. Figure out where you want to, what can kind of kickstart this energy here. How can we get this, get us back to where we're enthusiastic about what we're doing again, okay? So let's get on to your second card here, which is going to be the current challenge. So, higher self, what is the current challenge for, if this wasn't a challenge already, what is the current challenge for Sagittarius at this time? Let's see, what are some roadblocks that you might be hitting along the way? Ooh, there's my friend. The good old devil here. And you know what? I'm with it, because I feel like the challenge is, if we've gotten into this place, because this right here, procrastination, indolence, just putting in that bare minimum work here, that's absolutely devil's territory, because we're not being or embodying our best selves here. There's a place where we can grow here. We're not getting fulfilled to the max, and then when the devil pops up, that's all the devil is trying trying to do. Sometimes, considering that the devil's considered a card of like intoxication, bad habits, toxicity, and all of that, sure, you could focus on that aspect, but the devil is really there to kind of pinpoint where we are weak, in the sense of like he's trying to turn our weaknesses into strengths here. And I'm all about that, like, good work. Because, this, again, like I was saying, this is a mindset here. This is in the devil's territory here. And if we're just sort of like, we're just stagnant, the devil's trying to get us moving again. Because at some point, it's like, how do we get here? I feel like this is not how you've always operated. If this is resonating with you, something in here is asking for more. Higher self is trying to get your attention in some aspect. And if we got to come at it through a devil moment, that's how we got to do it. Because the thing with the devil, if we want to paint him as the villain, he'll take on that role, whatever way, and he's gonna have fun with it too. That's the thing, if anything, you're like, well, that'll show you, devil, you're my enemy here, and the devil's just like, psh. Bring it. Because if anything, because now it's gotten a reaction out of you. Now it's like, okay, Sagittarius got a response from that. Okay, I'll play this role a little bit because it's trying to get you back on track here, Sagittarius. So just kind of really get eyes on that. That's all the devil really wants us to do, so that we can so that we can get back on track and really embody the best version of ourselves just all the time here. So let's get to your third card here, which is going to be where you can find some help. So, higher self, where is it that Sagittarius can find some help at this time? Let's see. You'll see where you can get some assistance with this thing at this time, Sagittarius. Yup. Absolutely, the Hanged Man. Because thanks, higher self. That was solid. And because with this thing, if you're stuck, it's time for a new perspective, because this is exactly a recipe for a hanged man. Because a hanged man is about that redemption, kind of like that redemption through sacrifice. And even this thing may feel a little punishing at sometimes, but just like this is like the devil's trying to raise you up here. That's the point. When we're in the hanged man state, it's time to kind of contemplate. How we've been going about this thing is clearly not working, in the sense that like it's not. We want more, in the sense, Sagittarius. And so it's about kind of stopping. When the hangman pops up, it's sort of like your higher self just kind of like, all right, buddy, this has been fun, but look at this thing. What are we doing? In the kindest possible way. I feel like that's like hanged man is like one of higher self's like last resorts here. The next thing is a tower moment. But all of that stuff is to be embraced here. And to keep in mind too, I don't know if I mentioned, this is Capricorn's card. And Capricorn is about putting in that hard work. That's what the generalization is for the sign. They're gonna persevere through this thing, because their growth is going to be at the end of at the finish line there. So now I just feel like with this popping up, if you want to find some help, either I say first you're going to have to journey within, figure out what it is that excites you. If you've ever had a thought where it's like, I wonder what it would be like if, and then whatever that blank is, journey through this. Clearly, you have nothing but time. And again, you're in a judgment-free zone here. But why not take the most of this thing here? If you've got this thing in a place where you can kind of coast, go explore your hobbies. Go explore things that can maybe even get you to a place where it's supporting you and you're having fun. Because that's, I feel like, is the goal at the end of the day here. Because like when we want to get to this place like where we're not looking at our work as work. Because what is that line? If you do what you love, you never work a day in your life. And that may sound cliche, but doesn't that sound fun? No one's going to look back and think, when we get to retirement and all of that, it's like, oh man, I wish I would have worked more hours. I would 40 hours a week. I should have did 80 hours a week. And you know what? If that's what you're thinking, then then hey, supporting you. But for us who ain't trying to work that hard or maybe that long, we're trying to work smarter here. So let's do that. Let's work smarter. Let's do what we love and try to turn that into a thing. So let's get on to your fourth card here, which is going to be some long-term gains. So, higher self, what are some long-term gains for Sagittarian this? we've been meditating, we're learning where we might be weak at. What are going to be some gains from doing all this stuff? Let's see what's going on here. Absolutely. 10 of Cups. Come on. Thank you, higher self. This is what and look what you're bringing me, Sagittarius. As we're going through this journey here, it's all right in front of you here. If you want that fulfillment, take a picture of this and then put it on your wall somewhere. Let that be your vision board. When you wake up every day, what do you want? 10 of Cups. Fulfillment, satiety, just all of that abundance. And it could be your financial abundance too, but the Cups have to deal with emotional matters. So I feel like this is more so definitely embodying your kind of emotional fulfillment. But when we're feeling good emotionally, all that abundance is going to, that beacon is being doing this. It's beckoning. And all that good vibrations are going to come towards you. So then not only are you going to get emotional abundance, if you want that material resources as well, you're in a more positive place to manifest this stuff here. Because if we're in a place of where, things aren't moving and we just like, meh, then that's what's going to that's how life is going to be, meh. And I feel like you want more, and it's within your grasp, but let's start putting in this work. And you don't have to have this solved overnight here, but it's just like, let's at least get the ball rolling, okay? All right, let's get to your 5th card here, which is going to be some short-term gains. So, higher self, what are some short-term gains for Sagittarius at this time? Let's see what we can expect, because I know sometimes it's like, everyone tells us to be patient and all this stuff, so I get it. We want we're in an age of like we want that instant gratification. So let's see what are some short-term things we can expect from this thing, higher self. Nice. That's solid. 2 of Swords. And the 2 of Swords for me, this is a card of balance, and a card of finding that peace. You've been going through this hard time, you've been putting in that shadow work, and then you get on the other side of it. And now we had our one sword, we took it in here, and now we found our other, and everything's just feeling just like we're feeling one again. You know what I mean? And that's where I feel like that's what's going to start happening. You're going to start feeling this, maybe if we've been feeling like this, like, haven't been feeling at ease lately, or just like, there's like that little something in the back of your head, just like, man, is this really it? That's going to start calming down, because this is relief from struggles here. This is, we've gone through it, and now this is like a milestone here. So celebrate that. As you're noticing things starting to turn around here, Sagittarius, definitely celebrate in that too, because you're leveling up. Every time we get closer to our 10 of Cups here, you're leveling up. So definitely keep that in mind. Let that keep that goal. We're trying to find that peace so that we can get here. Let this be your motivator to keep towards your end game here. Whatever it takes. Take all the pictures. We got to do what you got to do. Whatever just keeps that drive here, okay? Because that's what your sign is about. Your Sagittarius is, keeping that momentum. Once you see the big picture, and then you go out there and get it. You don't need nobody to tell you how to do this thing. So go out there and get it. While I'm talking about your strengths here, let's get to your 6th card, which is going to be strengths. So, higher self, what are some strengths that Sagittarius is bringing at this time? Let's see what strengths you got that you're bringing to the table here. Oh, yeah. Okay. I'm with it. The Sun. Get it. And that's what I'm talking about. That's very bringing that happiness, bringing that joy, raising that optimism. Absolutely. Because Sagittarius, when I think about your sign, every time I talk about, because I have a couple of friends who have their signs in Sagittarius, and I just think about just like, they're always so much fun. There's always this joy there, and it's very genuine. It's not like it's not like kind of like that forced thing. There's just like this natural optimism that just Sagittarius oozes, and it's the best thing. And that's where I definitely feel like with this Sun here, that's your strength, seeing the light in all of this stuff, like you're seeing the potential for expansion here. Because think about this too, your ruler is Jupiter, and Jupiter is all about that fortune, that expansion, and all of this stuff. For me, Fortune, expansion. That's what's happening right here, and that is absolutely a strength. Bringing that sunshine, bringing that happiness, because this card is bae. Of the major arcana, absolutely. This one, for me personally, rivals the Empress, and the Empress and I are like besties in this deck. And besties in general, really. She was like one of my first best friends in this deck. But enough about me. That's look at you. See, you just raised my vibration through the roof. Go on and get it. Now let's come down a little bit, because now we're going to talk about some weaknesses here. But remember, strengths waiting to be discovered here. That's what we're finding out. So higher self, what are some weaknesses that Sagittarius might be working with? What are some strengths that are waiting to be discovered here? Let's just shine a little more light on this thing. What? The universe. And that's what we're waiting for. And because that's, I feel like, exactly what you've been wanting to find here. You know, if this has been resonating with you. Trying to find like that wanting for more. That's what's going on here. It's time for you to tap into that skill and see that big picture here. Because I forgot which sign I was talking about. Now I'm going to boost your ego up even more. Because I had mentioned Sagittarius. It might have been Gemini. Excuse me, Gemini's reading. I'm not sure, but I was talking about how Gemini is kind of more detail-oriented, and then Gemini is on the exact opposite of you as far as on the zodiac wheel, Sagittarius. And then Sagittarius, like your sign is definitely more kind of like geared towards that bigger picture. And that's where I feel like we need to refine that strength. You know, maybe we've forgotten our abilities here. You know, you're bringing that sunshine here. Now let's expand that. Let's help that bad boy just permeate throughout our world here, because that's waiting for you, Sagittarius. This is your energy here that you're bringing, and see how you're moving along here, how you're growing. You're visualize this finish line here, in whatever that looks like for you. You know, how are you trying to? You know, let's say, for example, if we're in our work and we're trying to, maybe we want to own this place that we're at. You know, you're trying to think big, you know what I mean? You know, and then envision yourself in that role. How you're going to feel sitting at that desk. Put your feet up on that desk, because you deserved it. You've put in the work for it. You know, look at your nameplate, you know, embody how you're going to set up your desk, all of that stuff, what you're even going to wear, you know, all of that good stuff. Embody this thing. Start putting that out there, because remember when I was talking about that beacon here, you know, that law of attraction. You start putting that stuff out there and start making that space, you know, the things that aren't resonating with you anymore, pushing that out of your realm there. The universe is going to fill that stuff back up there with what you've been asking for and what you really desire here. So maybe be mindful of that. Be intentional with these abilities that you have here, because this is yours here. This is not something, I'm not just like going through the cards like, ooh, this would be good. No, this is what you're bringing here. So tap into that. Let's get into your 8th card here, which is what to focus on right now. So higher self, what are some things that Sagittarius should be focusing on in the present right now? Let's see what are some things that you could be thinking about here. You got the 10 of Swords here. And I absolutely think about that. What is it that's no longer serving you a purpose? This is exactly what I was talking about. These things that are leading us to, because this is a card of leading us to ruin, you know, all the things that are bringing us down here. But I love when this card pops up, because this also symbolizes it's heralding the end of delusions. You know, so if we thought we were in this place of where this is it, you know, this is all that life has to offer, I just better kind of settle in and kind of do whatever. It's just going to be, there'll be little pockets, but you know, overall, this is going to be the tone. Nope. We're thinking about that. We're changing that mentality there. We're not, because if that's what you're telling yourself in your mind, that's going to reflect in your world here. But now that you've seen it, I've seen it. Now let's start making some adjustments if it's resonating with you. You know, let's start getting some mental ease. You know, taking some of this pressure off of you if this has been something that's been weighing on your mind. Because there's something like, you know, like I feel like when you realize that you want more, it's almost like a nagging feeling. You can't quite put your finger on it, and it'll start small, but it eventually starts building, and it's not to scare you, Sagittarius, but that's how the devil pops up. That's how a hanged man situation happens. So definitely focus on that. You know, what is it that can help you move on from this thing? and we'll be in fantastic shape. You know, it's going to be solid. All right, let's get on to your ninth card here, which is going to be what to focus on in the future. So, higher self, what is it that Sagittarius should be focusing on in the future here? Let's see, what are some things that that we should be maybe planning for? Let's see, let's get a card on that, yeah? Okay. Nice. You got the Six of Swords here. And I feel like with this, it's like, because this is a card of like directed knowledge in this thing, in this deck. And what I mean by that is, it's like finding, when I was talking about when it was like, I wonder if I wonder what would happen if I would X, you know, and then exploring that, you know, see, trying to play around with your business here. It's like, let's say you're a fan of, I don't know, skydiving, and you like, okay, I wonder what are some ways that I could start a skydiving business, you know, get focused on that, you know, if that's something that genuinely interests you, you know, hone in on that, see what are some ways that avenue has already been tackled, see if you can think of some big ways that, think of some new innovative ways to come in this thing, and then find a way to, you know, to incorporate that passion. But it's about going with that intention. That's what for me is the Six of Swords in this deck. Just like, you know, really having that focus, you know, really kind of being mindful of where we're trying to channel our energy at. But let's get a little bit more clarification on that. I feel like there might be a touch more on that. Higher self, can we clarify the Six of Swords, please? Let's get a little more on that. Yeah, look at my girl, Queen of Cups here. And so, yeah, I feel like this is about really kind of, yeah, again, just kind of analyzing this thing, you know, figuring out what it is that you really like. And you'll know, I feel like this, with the Queen of Cups popping up, you'll know the sign when you feel that ease, that calm, how do I explain that? Just like that feeling of, when you know, you just know, you know? I don't know how else to put that. It's just like when you start doing this thing, it feels effortless. And even when you hit roadblocks along the way, it's not you don't get to the place where it's just like, ugh! You're like, okay, so this is what I'm dealing with here today. Let's adjust, let's adapt, let's do this thing. And that's where I feel like, that's how you'll kind of get a sign when I feel like you're on the right track, you know, if you're curious, you know, when I think about when you're trying to figure out this thing, because there's so many like opportunities out there, and that can be overwhelming as well. Just go trust your gut, because that's another thing too. The Queen of Cups is so intuitive, you know, even of like the court cards for me, she's one of the most intuitive, if not the most for me. And I feel like it's about too, this is more so kind of like a broader kind of Queen of Cups aspect, but just like really learning from this past, you know, from this past stuff here, these lessons that you have from here, you know, this stuff here, you know, you don't want to feel like that again. So go, you know, explore, you know, and really see what the world has to offer for you, Sagittarius, okay? Let's get to your last card here. Let's wrap this up. So, higher self. What are some, the last card is going to represent opportunities. Higher self, what are some opportunities coming in for Sagittarius? Let's see, let's see what are some opportunities coming in for you. Let's bring this story to a close here. Nice. You got the Nine of Swords here. And I know you're probably like, that doesn't look nice, but it is. It's very similar to what's going on here, because I feel like the opportunity, again, that's coming for you is that mental, like, where you don't feel like you're all up in your head so much, you know, that you feel like you're on the wrong track, or that you're, you know, that you feel like this is all you deserve, you know, that I can't do any better, you know, all of that stuff. Because the Nine of Swords, it's kind of intense energy here. It's very cruel, and I don't even mean like cruel like you're cruel to other people. I feel like it's all the mean things that we tell ourselves, you know, all the ways that that we can bring ourselves down. And you know, I feel like you're gonna get that freedom from this energy here. But let's get one more clarifier on this thing. I just want to make sure we're not there's a little extra in there. Higher self, can we get a clarification on the Nine of Swords, please? Yeah, let's get Ooh, yeah, okay. Nice. Nice, because this is your card here. That's what I'm talking about, because I was just thinking about that too. Because this energy here, before I talk about this, you got, with this energy here, this is Mars and Gemini right here. So when you think about when you're taking action towards this thing, you know, if we were in this place of where we've been bringing ourselves down and all this stuff here, I offer you to, I challenge you. You know, I can't tell you what to do, but if we're in a place where we're bringing ourselves down, start thinking about it from a different aspect. You know, it's like, okay, instead of like, man, I can't do this. This is an area where I'm weak at. I wonder what resources I can to better, you know, enhance this skill, to pick up this weakness here. You know, taking action like that, seeing it from, because Mars and Gemini, Mars is about taking action here, and Gemini is about that duality, kind of seeing things from different perspectives here. And once you really start clearing this stuff up here, because that's opportunity coming, then you can go out there and go get your thing, because that's what this is, your card, Knight of Wands. Because this is like the King of Wands in traditional decks. And the Knight of Wands for me, look at all this fire here. He's the fiery part of fire. Knights representing fire, Wands representing fire. And this guy is going to go out there and get it. When you tell, hold on, let's switch back over. And keep in mind too, Sagittarius, this isn't a gender-specific reading. You are absolutely a knight in this situation here. And the thing too, it is about making sure that you're being mindful with this energy, because if you, I love saying with this guy that if he's not going with any intention here, that is the quickest way to a hanged man situation here. But you got clarity. We've been focused on this whole journey. We've been getting clarity on this thing. So once you find that thing, once that, you remember, your Queen of Cups start tingling, you know, all of that stuff there, take action. And it doesn't have to be, again, anything massive. Don't let that overwhelm you. Just as long as we're taking baby steps, you know, watch how this thing snowballs. It's going to be, it's going to be incredible. Just, you give that time, because what a way for you to, you brought it home here, Sagittarius, and that's what I'm talking about. I'm gonna leave that there. That was dope. I hope you enjoyed that too, and if you did, give that a good old thumbs up. Share this thing. If you know somebody who's going through this thing, they got Sagittarius in their chart, or they just might need just a kick in the pants. Yeah, share this thing. Let's raise that vibration, because you raised mine today. That was awesome what you did here. Subscribe, hit that bell button. You'll get notified when I release videos. Follow me on Facebook. I've been slacking here with the holidays, but follow me on Facebook. And what's one more thing? Oh, if you have any Cancer in your placement, or you maybe you're in a business partnership with someone in a Cancer. You're just trying to figure out how we tick. Check out the Sheridan Friends. It's my other channel. I do stuff Monday through Friday there. We talk lunar shenanigans. It's a whole blast. All of that is in the description box below. But let me get your surprise card out of here, or get your surprise card so I can get you out of here and go get it. Queen of Swords. Did I not say we had all the clarity that we need? Let this be the finisher here. Like this Queen of Swords, other than honestly her husband, it don't get much clearer than that. Go out there, find that thing that motivates you, that you want to do, that you see yourself doing just indefinitely. Go out there and find that thing, because that's what the Queen of Swords is about. She's the liberator of the minds. She doesn't get, you know, when we're in Nine of Swords, she analyzes all that stuff, takes her sword, takes what resonates with her, leaves the rest right back there, and she goes out there. She calls up the Knight of Swords, and she's like, yo, let's go get it. So, yeah, that's where I'm going to leave that there, Sagittarius. Stay safe out there, and you keep raising that vibration, and I will catch you on the next one later.